beloved child, before you rush into everything waiting for you today, stay with me for just a little while. Let the noise around you grow quiet. Let the worries that have followed you since you opened your eyes rest for a moment. You do not have to carry them while we are here together. I know there are questions you have asked me more than once. Some have been whispered through tears. Some have remained hidden in the silence of your heart because you have grown tired of saying them aloud. You have wondered why nothing seems to be changing. You have looked at the same situation day after day, hoping this would finally be the moment everything turns around. Yet all you can see is another day that looks so much like the one before it. My child, do not mistake what you cannot see for what I am not doing. Just because your eyes have not witnessed the answer does not mean my hands have been still. Just because heaven has been quiet does not mean I have forgotten your name. I have heard every prayer, every sigh, every word you could not even bring yourself to speak. Not one of them has been lost to me. I know waiting can make your heart feel heavy. I know there are moments when you wonder if I am asking too much of you. I know how easy it is to believe that if nothing has changed around you, then perhaps nothing is happening at all. But I want you to listen carefully to my voice today. Long before you noticed the silence, I was already moving. Long before you began asking where I was, I had already gone ahead of you. Long before you feared that the door would never open, I was already preparing the path you could not yet see. You are looking at today, but I have always seen every tomorrow. You are holding only one piece of the story, while I hold every page in my hands. That is why I ask you not to lose heart. Trust does not grow when everything is visible. Trust grows when you choose to keep walking, even before the answer appears. So release the need to understand everything right now. Release the burden of trying to make sense of every delay. Simply stay close to me for these next few moments, because I want to show your heart something it has almost forgotten. I have never stopped working for your good. And before this message is over, I pray that you will begin to see that my greatest works often begin long before my children realize they have already begun. My beloved child, I see the weariness you have tried so hard to hide. Even when you smile for others, I can still see the quiet ache that remains in your heart. I know there are moments when you wonder how much longer you must keep waiting. I know there are prayers you have whispered so many times that you no longer know what else to say. You have searched for signs. You have looked for answers. You have hoped that each new day would finally bring the breakthrough you have been longing for. Do not think that I have overlooked a single one of those moments. Every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed was seen by me. Every lonely night when your thoughts became heavier than your heart was known by me. Every time you chose to keep believing, even when your faith felt small, I was there beside you. I have never stepped away from you, not even for a moment. I know waiting can make you question things you never thought you would question. It can cause hope to feel distant and make tomorrow seem uncertain. You may even find yourself asking if your prayers have reached me at all. My precious child, they have. Every word has reached my heart. I have listened to every cry, even those spoken only through silence. Do not allow the passing of time to convince you that I have forgotten you. Time does not weaken my promises. Delays do not erase my faithfulness. What seems slow to you has never been outside my perfect care. I do not lose sight of my children simply because they cannot yet see my hand. I know there are days when you compare your journey with someone else's. You see doors opening for others while yours remains closed. You watch people celebrate answers while you continue to wait. Quietly, without even realizing it, disappointment begins to whisper that perhaps I love others more than I love you. Do not believe that voice. My love has never been measured by how quickly circumstances change. My love has never depended on how many blessings you can count today. I loved you before you ever asked me for anything, and I will continue to love you long after every prayer has been answered. Nothing you are experiencing today has diminished my affection for you. While you have been counting the days, I have been watching over every step. While you have been wondering if you are standing still, I have been strengthening your heart in ways you cannot yet recognize. There are lessons of patience, quiet moments of healing, and unseen mercies surrounding your life that you will only understand when you look back with grateful eyes. My child, I do not ask you to pretend that waiting is easy. I know it is not. I know your heart grows tired. I know there are moments when you wish I would simply tell you when everything will change. But instead of giving you every answer, I offer you something even greater. I offer you my presence. I offer you the assurance that you are not carrying this season alone. Lean a little closer to me today. Rest your anxious thoughts in my hands. You do not have to force tomorrow to arrive before its time, and you do not have to carry the burden of figuring everything out by yourself. I am already holding what you cannot yet hold. I am already preparing what you cannot yet see. So before your heart begins to surrender to discouragement, remember this simple truth. Waiting is not the same as being forgotten. Even when nothing around you seems to be changing, my love remains constant, my promises remain alive, and my work in your life has never stopped. Stay with me, my beloved. Do not rush ahead of hope. There is more happening than your eyes can see, and in the right moment, you will understand why I asked you to trust me a little longer, my beloved child. There have been moments when my silence has troubled your heart. You have waited for an answer that seemed delayed. You have looked for a sign that never appeared. You have prayed with hope, only to wonder later if heaven had grown quiet. I know how easily silence can be mistaken for distance. I know how quickly the waiting can make you believe that I have stepped away. But my child, listen carefully to me. My silence has never meant my absence. Even when you could not hear my voice, I was still surrounding you with my care. Even when you thought nothing was changing, I was already arranging things beyond your sight. I have never needed to speak loudly to accomplish my purpose. Some of my greatest works begin where human eyes can see nothing at all. Think about the seed hidden beneath the soil. For a long time, everything above the ground looks exactly the same. The earth seems still. The field appears empty. Yet beneath the surface, life is already unfolding. Roots are reaching deeper. Strength is being formed. What appears motionless is quietly preparing for the day it will break through into the light. So it has been with your life. You have been looking at the surface while I have been working beneath it. You have been measuring progress by what your eyes can observe, but I measure it by what I am accomplishing inside your heart and within the circumstances surrounding you. There are conversations taking place that you know nothing about. There are closed doors protecting you from paths that would have wounded you. There are opportunities I am preserving until the right season arrives. Remember this, just because you cannot see my hands does not mean they are still. I know you would like certainty. I know you wish I would tell you exactly when every prayer will be answered. But if I showed you every detail before its time, you would no longer need to trust me one step at a time. Faith grows when you continue walking, even while the path ahead remains hidden. And every step you have taken in faith has been precious in my sight. Do not become discouraged because today looks ordinary. Many ordinary days are quietly carrying you toward extraordinary moments. The sunrise does not rush across the sky, yet it always arrives. The river does not force its way to the sea in a single moment, yet it never stops moving. In the same way, my work in your life is steady, faithful, and never interrupted. I am still here. Perhaps you have asked, Lord, why can I not see what you are doing? My child, if you could see everything I am protecting you from, you would understand that my silence has often been an act of mercy. If you could see every unseen danger I have turned away, every burden I have quietly carried for you, and every door I have gently kept closed until the proper time, your heart would find rest instead of fear. I do not stand far away watching you struggle on your own. I walk beside you every moment. I go before you. I remain behind you. My presence surrounds you in ways your eyes cannot measure. Even now, while you are listening to these words, I am doing far more than you realize. I am strengthening what has grown weak. I am restoring what disappointment tried to steal. I am preparing tomorrow while giving you the grace you need for today. Trust me a little longer. You do not have to force what I have already planned. You do not have to chase what I have already appointed for you. Rest in the assurance that I am never delayed, never distracted, and never uncertain. My timing has always been perfect because I see what you cannot see, and I know what you cannot yet know. So, when the silence feels heavy again, do not let fear become louder than my promises. Instead, let your heart remember this truth. Even in the quiet, I am working. Even in the waiting, I am leading. Even when nothing seems to change, my love continues to move before you, preparing the way one faithful step at a time. My beloved child, there are things I am preparing for you that cannot be seen with human eyes. That is why I ask you not to judge your future by what stands before you today. What you see is only a small part of the story. What I am doing reaches far beyond this moment, far beyond this season, and far beyond what your heart is able to imagine right now. I know you have looked at your life and wondered if it will always remain the same. You have watched the days pass, hoping that something would finally change. Sometimes you even ask yourself if your prayers have made any difference at all. My precious child, never believe that your waiting has been wasted. While you have been hoping for one visible answer, I have been preparing many unseen ones. Remember this: I never begin my work on the day you finally notice it. Long before a door opens, I have already prepared the way leading to it. Long before the blessing reaches your hands, I have already been arranging every detail that will allow it to arrive at the right moment. What surprises you has never surprised me. What seems sudden to you has often been unfolding under my care for much longer than you realize. There are people you have not yet met whose lives will become part of your journey. There are conversations that have not yet happened. There are opportunities quietly moving closer with each passing day. There are answers already taking shape beyond the horizon of your understanding. Nothing is wandering aimlessly. Nothing is happening by accident. Every detail remains safely within my loving hands. Do not grow impatient. You often wish I would reveal the entire path before asking you to take the next step. But if I showed you everything today, you would carry burdens you were never meant to carry. You would worry about tomorrow instead of receiving the grace I have prepared for today. My wisdom protects you, not only by what I reveal, but also by what I lovingly keep hidden until the proper time. Think about how the morning slowly gives way to daylight. The sun does not appear all at once. First comes the faintest light along the horizon. Then the darkness quietly retreats. Little by little, what was hidden becomes clear. In the same way, I often reveal my plans one step at a time. Not because I want to test your patience, but because I want your heart to learn to walk beside me instead of running ahead alone. I know there have been moments when you tried to force open doors that remained closed. Looking back, you can already see that some of those closed doors spared you from unnecessary pain. At the time, you felt disappointed. Now you understand that my protection was greater than your understanding. Trust that the doors I continue to keep closed today are also held shut by my love. I am already ahead of you. Where you see uncertainty, I see completion. Where you see questions, I already know every answer. Where you see an impossible situation, I have already prepared a way through it. You do not have to create your own future with anxious hands. I am the one who walks ahead of you, making straight what appears crooked and opening what no one else can open. My child, do not allow disappointment to convince you that nothing good is coming. The enemy wants you to believe that because you cannot see movement, there is no movement at all. But my truth is greater than what your eyes report. My promises do not depend on your circumstances. They rest upon my unchanging faithfulness, and I have never failed those who place their trust in me. Keep walking with me. Do not stop praying because the answer has not arrived yet. Do not stop believing because today feels ordinary. Do not stop expecting my goodness because the journey has taken longer than you hoped. Every faithful step you take brings you closer to the moment when you will look back and realize that I was preparing blessings while you thought you were simply waiting. One day, what is hidden today will become clear. One day you will understand why certain prayers took time, why certain roads were longer, and why certain seasons ask so much of your faith. Until that day comes, let your heart remain at peace. I am already where you are going, and I am preparing every step with a love that never fails. My beloved child, there have been times when you stood before a closed door and wondered why I did not open it. You prayed with all your heart. You believed with sincere faith. You waited with expectation. Yet the answer you hoped for never came. Instead, you found yourself facing disappointment, confusion, and questions that seemed to have no answer. I know those moments well. I know how painful it feels when something you believed was right never becomes reality. I know how easy it is to wonder if you did something wrong or if I somehow turned away from you. But, my precious child, never mistake a closed door for a closed heart. My heart has never been closed toward you. My love has never been withheld from you. Remember this. Not every closed door is a rejection. Many are my protection. You only see what was on the other side of the door you wanted. I see every road that would have followed after it. I see the burdens you could not have carried. I see the wounds you never knew were waiting there. I see the people who would have led your heart away from the peace I desire for you. Because I love you, I will never give you something simply because you ask for it. I give according to my wisdom, not according to the pressure of the moment. There are prayers I answer by saying yes. There are prayers I answer by saying wait. And there are prayers I answer by lovingly saying no. Every answer comes from the same heart that has loved you from the beginning. Do not believe that my love is measured only by the blessings you receive. Sometimes, my deepest love is revealed in the things I do not allow to happen. A child may not understand why a loving father pulls them away from danger. They only know they were stopped. But the father sees what the child cannot. In the same way, I often protect you from sorrows you never realize you escaped. Trust my heart. There are things you once begged me for that would no longer bring you joy today. Looking back, you can already see how I gently redirected your path. What felt like loss became wisdom. What felt like delay became preparation. What felt like disappointment quietly became mercy. You did not understand it then, but my hand never left yours. And just as I was faithful then, I am faithful now. Perhaps today you are standing before another door that refuses to open. Perhaps you have knocked again and again until your heart has grown tired. My child, do not let frustration convince you to force your way through something I have lovingly kept closed. There are blessings that arrive only when they come in my time. Anything gained outside my peace will never satisfy your soul the way my will can. I am not taking good things away from you. I am preserving the best things for the right season. The world teaches you to push harder, move faster, and never stop chasing what you want. But I invite you to something far more peaceful. I invite you to trust that I know exactly what your heart needs before you even ask me. You do not have to fight every battle alone. You do not have to force every opportunity into existence. You can rest, knowing that what I have prepared for you will never be lost. Stay close to me. When one door closes, do not spend all your strength staring at it. Stay near my presence instead. Keep walking with me. Keep listening to my voice. While your eyes remain fixed on what did not happen, you may fail to notice the new path I am quietly unfolding before you. I never close one chapter without already holding the next one in my hands. One day you will look back and thank me for the prayers I did not answer the way you expected. You will see how my wisdom protected your future, how my love guided your steps, and how my faithfulness never failed, even when my answers were different from your desires. Until that day comes, let your heart find rest in this truth. I will never withhold what is truly good for you. And if I ask you to wait, if I gently say no, or if I lead you in another direction, it is only because my love can already see the beautiful future that my child cannot yet see. My beloved child, not every wound leaves a mark that others can notice. Some of the deepest pain is carried quietly behind gentle smiles and ordinary conversations. People may look at you and think you are doing well, while inside your heart there are places that still ache. There are disappointments you rarely speak about. There are memories you wish you could forget. There are burdens you have carried for so long that they have begun to feel like part of who you are. But, my child, I know every hidden place within your heart. Nothing about your pain is unknown to me. I know the words that wounded you years ago. I know the promises that were broken. I know the nights when you cried after everyone else had fallen asleep. I know the silent battles you have fought without anyone ever realizing how exhausted you truly felt. You never had to explain those moments to me because I was already there, holding you even when you did not feel my presence. Remember this. I do not heal only what others can see. I heal what has been buried deep within your soul. Sometimes you ask me to change your circumstances, while I am gently restoring your heart. You ask me to remove the struggle, while I am removing the fear that the struggle left behind. You ask me to fix what is around you, while I am carefully healing what has been broken inside you. My work always reaches deeper than appearances because I desire lasting peace, not temporary comfort. Healing is often quieter than you expect. It does not always arrive in a single miraculous moment. Sometimes it comes through small steps that almost seem invisible. One day you notice that a memory no longer hurts as deeply. Another day you realize that fear no longer controls every decision you make. Then, without even knowing when it happened, your heart begins to breathe freely again. That is how my love often works. Patiently, gently, faithfully. Do not become discouraged if you are still healing. A wound that took years to form may need time to be fully restored. Do not mistake the process for failure. Every day you place your heart in my hands is another day. My grace is quietly doing its work. Even when you cannot measure your progress, I can. I see every small victory. I see every time you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness. I see every moment you choose hope instead of despair. None of it is wasted. Let me carry what has become too heavy for you. You were never created to carry every regret, every disappointment, and every fear by yourself. Yet so often you hold tightly to burdens that I have already invited you to release. You replay old conversations. You revisit painful memories. You blame yourself for things I have already forgiven. My beloved child, you do not have to live inside yesterday when I have prepared fresh mercy for today. Give those memories to me. Give me the hurt you cannot explain. Give me the questions that still have no answers. I am not afraid of your brokenness. I do not step back because your heart feels fragile. I move closer. I draw near to those who are weary. I stay beside those who feel forgotten. My love is never frightened by the places within you that still need healing. Those are the very places where I long to pour out my peace. There will come a day when you will notice that the pain no longer defines you. The story that once made you weep will become a testimony of my faithfulness. The place where you once felt weakest will remind you of how gently I carried you through every difficult season. You will not remember only the hurt. You will also remember my presence that never left your side. So be patient with yourself, my child. You do not have to become whole overnight. You do not have to pretend that every wound has already disappeared. Simply continue walking with me. Continue placing your heart into my hands each day. I am restoring what was broken, strengthening what became weak, and filling every empty place with my unfailing love. The healing has already begun. Even if you cannot yet see all of it, I am making your heart new, one gentle moment at a time. My beloved child, there are tears you remember, and there are tears you have forgotten. There were moments when your heart became so overwhelmed that words could no longer express what you were feeling. All you could do was sit quietly, hoping that somehow I still understood what was happening inside you. Even when no prayer came from your lips, your heart was still speaking to me. I heard every silent cry. Not one tear has ever fallen without my notice. The world may overlook quiet sorrow because it often celebrates visible victories. But I do not measure your life that way. I draw near to the weary. I remain beside the broken-hearted. I stay with those who feel they have nothing left to give. When everyone else sees only your strength, I also see the exhaustion hidden beneath it. Remember this: your tears have never been meaningless. Every moment you chose to keep trusting me while your heart was hurting became precious in my sight. Every time you got out of bed despite feeling discouraged. Every time you offered kindness while carrying your own pain. Every time you whispered my name instead of surrendering to hopelessness. I was watching with love. Those moments were not small to me. They revealed a faith that continued to breathe even in the middle of uncertainty. I know there have been days when you wondered if anyone truly understood what you were carrying. You tried to explain it, but words never seemed enough. Some burdens cannot be described. Some disappointments live so deeply within the heart that they remain hidden from everyone around you. But they are never hidden from me. I know the weight you carry before you even speak about it. I know the questions you hesitate to ask because you fear there may never be an answer. I know the quiet loneliness that sometimes visits even when you are surrounded by people. My child, there is nothing inside your heart that surprises me, and there is nothing you need to hide from my love. Come to me just as you are. You do not have to pretend to be stronger than you feel. You do not have to smile simply because others expect you to. You do not have to convince me that everything is fine when your heart is weary. I invite you to come honestly, because I already know every part of your story. My love has never depended on how well you hold yourself together. It has always rested upon who I am. There is peace waiting for you in my presence. Not the kind of peace that comes because every problem disappears overnight, but the peace that remains even before circumstances change. It is the quiet assurance that you are not facing this journey alone. It is the confidence that your future is still safely held in my hands. It is the gentle strength that allows your heart to rest while I continue working in ways you cannot yet see. Do not lose heart. The tears you have cried are not the final chapter of your story. I am able to bring beauty from what once caused pain. I am able to restore what seemed beyond repair. I am able to use even your hardest seasons to reveal my faithfulness in ways you never expected. Nothing you have endured has been outside my loving care. One day, you will look back and realize that I was closer than you imagined. You will remember the nights you thought you were alone, only to discover that I never left your side. You will remember the prayers that seemed unanswered, only to see how I had been answering them in ways far greater than you understood. You will remember the tears, but you will remember my faithfulness even more. So rest your heart in me today. You do not have to carry yesterday into tomorrow. You do not have to fear that I have forgotten your prayers or overlooked your pain. I know your heart completely, and I remain committed to everything I have promised you. My love has never grown weaker, my compassion has never grown smaller, and my hands have never stopped holding your life. Keep walking with me, my beloved. The season of tears is not all that I have prepared for you. Beyond this valley, I am already leading you toward the peace, the strength, and the quiet joy that I have been preparing all along. My beloved child, I know there are moments when you wish I would show you the entire journey. You want to know how everything will unfold. You want to see where this road is leading before you take another step. Your heart longs for certainty because uncertainty can feel so heavy. You tell yourself that if you only knew what was coming, you would finally be able to rest. But my child, that is not how I lead my children. I rarely reveal the whole path at once. Instead, I place enough light before you for the next step. Then, as you continue walking with me, I reveal the next one. It may seem small, it may seem slow, but it has always been enough. My guidance has never failed those who chose to trust me one day at a time. Remember this, you do not need tomorrow's strength to live today. I have already prepared the grace you need for this moment. Tomorrow will have its own grace, just as today has its own. If I were to place the weight of your entire future upon your shoulders today, it would overwhelm you. That is why I lovingly invite you to walk beside me instead of trying to run ahead of me. There are days when you worry about things that have not even happened yet. Your mind travels far into the future, imagining every possible outcome. Fear begins to create stories that I never wrote. Anxiety starts filling your heart with burdens that were never yours to carry. Come back to me. Come back to this moment. I am here with you now. The breath in your lungs is my gift. The strength you have to stand today comes from my hand. The peace you are searching for is not waiting somewhere far ahead. It is found in my presence, right here, right now. The more you remain with me today, the less you will be controlled by fears about tomorrow. Do not underestimate the value of one faithful step. One prayer offered with sincerity can change the direction of a heart. One act of obedience can open a path you never expected. One decision to trust me instead of fear can become the beginning of a completely new season. Small steps may seem insignificant to you, but they are often how I accomplish my greatest purposes. Look at how I created the seasons. Winter does not become summer overnight. The flowers do not bloom the same day the seed is planted. Morning does not suddenly appear in full brightness. Everything unfolds gradually, according to the rhythm I established from the beginning. Why should your own journey be any different? Trust my pace. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where I can continue shaping your heart for what lies ahead. Sometimes you become frustrated because you feel you should have accomplished more by now. You compare your progress with someone else's journey and quietly wonder if you have fallen behind. But my child, I have never asked you to follow another person's timeline. I wrote your story with loving care long before you ever lived your first day. What I am doing in your life is uniquely yours, and it will unfold according to my perfect wisdom. So stop measuring your life by the speed of others. Measure it by your closeness to me. If you are walking with me today, then you are already moving in the right direction. Even when the progress feels invisible, every step taken in faith is bringing you exactly where I intend for you to be. Nothing that is surrendered to. My hands is ever wasted. Take my hand again today. Do not be afraid of the road you cannot yet see. You do not need to know every answer before taking the next step. You do not need to understand every part of my plan before trusting my heart. I am already standing in the days that are still ahead of you. I know every turn, every challenge, every blessing, and every victory that awaits. So simply keep walking with me. One step, one prayer, one day at a time. And before you realize it, you will look back with gratitude and see that the path which once seemed uncertain was being guided by my faithful hand every moment along the way. My beloved child, there are battles you have faced that no one else has fully understood. Some have taken place in your circumstances, while others have been fought quietly within your own heart. There have been days when discouragement whispered that you would never overcome. There have been nights when fear seemed louder than hope. At times, you have wondered if you were expected to carry every burden by yourself. But my child, you have never been alone. From the very beginning, I have walked beside you. Before you faced each challenge, I was already there. Before the tears came, my compassion was already reaching toward you. Before the obstacle appeared, I already knew the way through it. Nothing has ever caught me by surprise, and nothing has ever separated you from my loving care. Remember this, the battle is not yours alone. When your strength begins to fail, mine does not. When your heart grows tired, my faithfulness remains unshaken. You may feel weak, but my power is never weakened. You may not know what to do next, but I have never been uncertain about the path before you. That is why I ask you not to carry every burden as though everything depends on you. So often you try to solve every problem before bringing it to me. You spend countless hours worrying about outcomes you cannot control. You search for answers until your mind becomes exhausted. Yet all along I have been inviting you to place those burdens into my hands, not because I want you to stop caring, but because I never intended for you to carry them alone. Come closer to me. Lay your fears before me. Let your heart become still. There is a peace that cannot be found through endless thinking. There is a strength that cannot be produced by human effort. Both are found in my presence. The closer you remain to me, the more your heart begins to understand that you are supported by a love far greater than your own ability. I know the enemy often tries to convince you that you have been abandoned. He whispers that your prayers have accomplished nothing. He points to your struggles as though they are proof that I have forgotten you. But those whispers have never been my voice. I do not speak through fear. I do not lead through despair. My voice always calls you back to hope, back to peace, and back to the assurance that I am still with you. Listen to my voice instead. I call you my beloved. I call you my own. I call you by your name with tenderness that never fades. You are not defined by the battles you face. You are not defined by the mistakes you remember or the fears you still carry. You belong to me, and because you belong to me, your future is not determined by your weakness but by my faithfulness. Even now, while you are waiting for answers, I am strengthening you in ways you cannot yet measure. Every time you choose trust instead of fear, your heart becomes stronger. Every time you choose prayer instead of panic, your spirit grows steadier. Every time you place another burden into my hands, you make room for my peace to fill the place where anxiety once lived. Do not lose courage. You may feel that your progress has been slow, but you are not standing still. Every day you continue walking with me is another day you are becoming the person I have been shaping all along. The work I began in your heart has not stopped, and I will not leave it unfinished. My hands are too faithful to abandon what my love has begun. So when another difficult day arrives, do not face it as though you are by yourself. Before you speak a single prayer, I am already listening. Before you ask for help, My hand is already reaching toward you. Before your strength begins to fade, my grace is already waiting to sustain you. Walk into tomorrow with confidence, my child, not because every problem has disappeared, but because I will be there before you arrive. I will go before you, remain beside you, and stay behind you. Wherever this journey leads, my presence will never leave you, and my faithful love will continue carrying you one gentle step at a time. My beloved child, I know there have been days when you looked behind you more than you looked ahead. You remembered the opportunities that slipped away. You thought about the prayers that seemed unanswered. You replayed moments you wished had ended differently. Sometimes your heart quietly wondered if your best days had already passed. But, my child, do not let yesterday decide what you expect from tomorrow. Your future has never been built upon your past disappointments. It has always rested in my faithful hands. The mistakes you remember do not limit what I can do. The losses you still grieve do not prevent me from bringing new joy. The chapters that have ended are not the end of your story. Remember this: I am still writing. As long as I am walking beside you, hope always has a place in your life. My plans are not finished simply because one season has come to an end. When one chapter closes, I already know how the next one begins. While you are trying to understand what has been left behind, I am gently leading you toward what I have lovingly prepared ahead. Do not become so attached to what you expected that you miss what I am giving. Sometimes, my blessings arrive in forms you never imagined. They do not always follow the path you planned. They often come through doors you were not even looking toward. That is why I ask you to keep your heart open. If your eyes remain fixed only on what you hoped would happen, you may overlook the beautiful gifts quietly unfolding around you. Lift your eyes. There is still so much ahead. There is still peace for your weary heart. There is still strength for the days when you feel weak. There are still moments of unexpected joy waiting to surprise you. There are still prayers that will be answered in ways more beautiful than you can imagine today. I have not run out of blessings. My kindness has not reached its end. My mercy is still new with every morning that I give you. Do not allow fear to convince you that tomorrow will simply repeat yesterday. I am a God who brings new beginnings. I restore what has been broken. I breathe life into places that seem empty. I create hope where discouragement once lived. Even when everything around you appears unchanged, my power is still able to make all things new in the time I have appointed. I know your heart has grown cautious. After disappointment, it feels safer not to expect too much. You tell yourself that hoping less will protect you from future pain. But my child, I did not create your heart to live without hope. Hope is not pretending that life is easy. Hope is choosing to believe that my goodness remains true even when you cannot yet see the outcome. Place your hope in me, not in circumstances that can change, not in people who may disappoint you, not in your own understanding. Place it in the one whose love has never failed you. Every promise I have spoken over your life remains secure. Every purpose I have placed within you still matters. Every step I have asked you to take continues leading somewhere meaningful. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been abandoned. My hands are still shaping your future with the same care that has guided you from the very beginning. So do not stop expecting. My goodness. Wake each morning knowing that I am already there before you. Walk through each day believing that I am still opening the right doors, still protecting you from the wrong ones, and still weaving together every detail for your good. Even when progress seems slow, my work never stops. Even when the answers seem delayed, my promises remain alive. Keep your heart turned toward me. There will come a day when you will see how faithfully I led you through every season. You will understand why some roads were longer than you expected and why certain answers took time to arrive. You will discover that my love was preparing something far greater than anything you could have planned for yourself. Until that day, keep trusting me. The road ahead is not empty. It is already filled with my presence, my peace, and my faithful love. And as you continue walking with me, one quiet step at a time, you will discover that the most beautiful parts of your journey were never left behind. They have been waiting for you all along. My beloved child, you have walked with me through every word I have spoken to your heart today. You have remembered the seasons of waiting. You have remembered the silence that once troubled you. You have remembered the prayers, the tears, the disappointments, and the quiet hopes you still carry. Through every season, one truth has remained unchanged. I have never left you, not for a single day, not for a single moment. Before you were aware of my presence, I was already watching over you. Before you whispered your first prayer, I already knew every need within your heart. Before you faced your greatest struggles, I had already promised that I would remain faithful. My love for you has never depended on how strong your faith feels or how perfectly you have walked. It has always rested upon my unchanging heart. Remember this: you do not have to earn my love. You only have to receive it. So often you become tired because you believe everything depends on you. You try to be strong enough, wise enough, faithful enough, patient enough. But, my child, I have never asked you to carry that burden. I have only asked you to stay close to me. When you remain in my presence, I become your strength. When you trust my heart, I become your peace. When you place your future into my hands, you no longer have to carry the weight of tomorrow by yourself. Rest, my beloved. Rest from the endless worrying. Rest from trying to control every outcome. Rest from believing that you must have every answer before you can have peace. True peace does not come when every question has been answered. It comes when your heart learns that my love is greater than every unanswered question. Even if you cannot see the whole path, you know the one who is leading you. Even if tomorrow remains hidden, my faithfulness never is. I will continue guiding you. I will continue strengthening you. I will continue opening the right doors at the right time. I will continue healing every place within your heart that still feels fragile. Nothing about my commitment to you has changed. The same hands that have carried you this far will continue carrying you through every season that lies ahead. The same voice that has comforted you in the night will continue speaking peace into your heart. The same love that found you in your weakness will never stop surrounding your life. So walk into tomorrow with confidence. Not because life will always be easy, not because every challenge will disappear overnight, but because I will be there. When you wake, I will be with you. When you grow weary, I will strengthen you. When fear tries to return, I will remind you that you belong to me. When you cannot see the way forward, I will still be leading you one faithful step at a time. My child, never forget that I am already working beyond what your eyes can see. Even now, while you are listening to these words, my love is preparing what is good. My wisdom is arranging what is necessary, and my peace is waiting for every heart that chooses to trust me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart close to mine, and never lose hope, because I have never stopped working for your good. If these words have brought peace to your heart today, I invite you to stay with me a little longer. Leave your prayer or simply write Amen in the comments as a quiet declaration of your trust. If you know someone who is carrying a heavy heart, share this message with them so they can be reminded that they are not walking alone. And if you would like to continue spending these peaceful moments in my presence, I will be here with you again in the next message. Amen.